Hey there everyone, so OpenAI just did a live stream introducing Codex in ChatGPT. So what it is, let's have a look. So if you go onto their website, you will see this article introducing Codex. So they have released two new models and a new interface. So what is all of that? We'll be knowing in this video. Today they are releasing a research preview of Codex, a cloud-based software engineering agent that can work on many tasks in parallel. So it works in its own cloud sandbox environment. So how that interface looks, we'll be checking that out just in a moment. So this was the interface that they were talking about. So what is the model? So the model that they have released is Codex-1. This is a fine-tuned version of OpenAI O3, which was trained on real-world coding tasks to improve its performance in coding. The sad news is, Codex is just available to ChatGPT Pro, Enterprise, and Teams users. And sometime in the future, Plus and Edu users will be able to get it. So if you look at the benchmarks, you can see that the performance is very close to O3 High. If you look at OpenAI's internal SWE tasks, O3 High scores 70%, whereas Codex-1 scores 75%. But one thing to note is, Codex-X1 was tested at a maximum context length of 192k tokens and with medium reasoning effort, guys. So it was not the high reasoning effort, even though in this setting it was able to beat O3 High. That is so nice to see. So this was not the only model that was released, guys. If we scroll down, we can see that they have made some updates to Codex CLI. What they have did is, they have released a smaller version of Codex X1 that is fine-tuned from O4 Mini. It is now the default model in Codex CLI and is available as Codex Mini Latest in the API. So you can actually use this model, and if you are a Plus or Pro user, if you sign into Codex CLI, you can redeem $5 and $50 respectively as free API credits. So it's $5 for the Plus users and $50 for the Pro users, and you can use it in the next 30 days. With that being said, let's have a look at the Codex interface. So if you are already a ChatGPT Pro user, you might be seeing this Codex icon over here. If you click that, you should most probably see an interface like this, where it says what are we coding next. Here you can actually, write the prompt. Here at the bottom you can see tasks, where all the tasks that you have previously ran, they are listed over here. At the top right corner you can see environments. So as it was said in the article as well, each task that you run, it is actually run in OpenAI servers in a sandboxed environment. You can actually see for each task, your repo is actually getting downloaded in that sandbox environment. So if you click the environment, most probably this is the interface that you will be seeing. Select an environment. If you have linked your GitHub account, you might be seeing your GitHub repos. So whenever you first start an environment, according to OpenAI, these three things is what you will see. You can ask the agent to actually explain the whole code base to you. What are the important things to know? You can ask the agent to actually code, that is find and fix any bugs, or you can ask the agent to actually go through the code base and launch different tasks to fix the typos, bugs, or fix the documentation and other things. So you can see all these things are check marked, and if you hit start tasks, so all these things, explaining the code base, fixing the bugs, and doing other things, all these things will start working simultaneously in different sandbox environments, and this will be happening in OpenAI servers. And as I said previously, as you can see, 3 new tasks have been generated, and for each task the repo is getting downloaded in its specific sandboxed environment. So most probably if you open a previously ran task, this is what you will be seeing. Instead of thinking, it will be showing worked for 2 minutes and 58 seconds. If you look at the prompt here, it is mentioned that read through the code base and propose tasks that could help to make the code base bug free. If you have a look at the whole interface, it is very similar to ChatGPT Canvas. It has similar kind of vibes. So if you now talk about this particular task, you can see it has found several areas of improvement. So it mentions in points what are the improvements. It also finds that particular lines of code and shows in front of you. And with that, it also actually suggests the task, how this can be fixed up. So if you directly hit the code button, so a new task will be generated and the agent will start working on it. But instead, if you click on the suggested task, you can actually see the notes that the model has actually made and what it is going to do. So you can edit the notes and add anything that you want. And then when you hit code, it actually starts working. So one more thing that is available on the main interface is, just like how you can select various custom GPTs on your ChatGPT interface, here you can actually select environments. So you can see the user has actually clicked this icon and it can actually select which environment to work on. So now if you actually open up a running task, this is what you will be seeing. So on the right side, you can actually see the environment it is working on, what it is coding and everything. And on the left side, you have the chat interface. And this is very similar to what you see in ChatGPT Canvas. So as we saw in the article, one more thing that's very nice is citations. So whenever it actually makes any changes or it is referencing a code, it actually cites that code. You can see it says that created a regression test that verifies and whatever is written over here, it actually cites that particular piece of code. Similarly, when it's actually testing or doing anything in the terminal, it actually gives you a snapshot kind of a thing what it actually did. So it actually did some tests over here. You can see that these tests were passed. And this particular case, you can see the test actually failed, and you can actually see what actually happened because you're provided with the snapshot of the terminal. So these were all the features, guys, that I could infer from the video. And really, on my website, the best backend coding model is OpenAI O3 according to me. And really, for backend coding tasks, I think this Codex CLI and the new model Codex-1 is very nice. But if I have to nitpick, I think one thing that I can say is that since these are running in sandboxed environments and basically through terminal and everything, so I think most probably you will not be able to run GUI interfaces. So you might have seen my tests and everything, things that I run in Python. So that GUI interfaces or things like that might not be working. But that being said, I'm not exactly sure about that. I could be wrong, but we'll know in the coming days as people share their responses out in the wild. With that being said, what do you guys think about this new release from OpenAI? I hope I was able to cover all the information, guys. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one.